There we go. Hola. What's up? Good evening, everybody. Welcome. What's up? Hope you guys are doing good. Big day today. In a couple hours, the RNC convention. A lot of people expected to talk. Curious to see that. And a lot of things to go through. I mean, I think I even have more than 2 hours, probably. So we'll see what we can get through before the convention starts. We're going to be streaming the convention as well. Okay. What's up? Good afternoon. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of questions. Trump's talking tonight. Yes, Trump's talking. They say Hulk Hogan is talking. They say Dana White, Tucker Carlson, supposedly Elon Musk. I'm not sure about that, so it's going to be interesting. Trump's going to be the last one to talk tonight, they say. They say Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're going to be here for a couple hours. Tammy says Trump's speech should be at 9. Okay. All right. I hope so. Sounds good. So 7, 8, 9, 2 hours till Trump, I guess. Once 5 o'clock comes. Oh, yes. Lynn GMB, thank you so much for the reminder. Brian Enton posted about this, and I sent it to myself when I forgot because I have so many tabs. And even before the, let's see, did I send it to myself? Yeah, I did send it to myself. Brian Enton. Let's just, well, he's going to be one of the first things we touch on. Let's get through a couple of the, while we wait for people to join. Get through a couple of the funnies. All right. I have a couple things. All right. So let's get through this stuff first. If I can work this thing. Girl thought it was her friend's apartment. I saw this earlier. I thought this was really funny.
What's going on? That's the wrong address.
Sorry, wrong house. What's going on inside? Who do you do? I shoot.
That's the wrong address.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You can keep dancing. It's fine.
Come back. I like that. I'd actually like that. Come back to this screen.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Are you single? I like that. The move you do on the door. I like it. I haven't watched this yet. I meant to show this yesterday or the day before. And this guy said this, Drama Alert, Keemstar says, this will forever be the funniest predator catching video in history. I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch this with you guys. Hold on a minute.
Sorry, what's your name again?
Roger.
Roger? Hey, Roger, can I have a chat with you? Just a chat, man. I don't wanna call the police. I just wanna have a chat with you, okay?
Yeah.
So, why do you think it's okay, brother? And I'm just filming for our own protection, so you can't tell the police I touched you, okay? No, Roger, Roger.
What kind of vehicle is
Roger,
that?
I just want to chat with you, Roger. Roger, I'm not going to do nothing, I promise. I'm going to call the police, Roger. I got your address, Roger. Roger, just chat, Roger. Roger, just chat. She's 15, Roger. You can't do that. Roger, shame on you, Roger. She's only 15 old, Roger. Roger.
Oh, he stopped?
Roger, she's only 15. I'm recording you. I have your address. The cops will go there, Roger. The cops will show up, Roger. Roger, I just want to have a chat with you, Roger. Roger, you know you can go to jail, Roger? She's 15, Roger. Shame on you, Roger. Shame on you. I will take this to the police. Shame on you.
Is that as a house now? Or?
Hey, Roger! Roger!
Oh,
can we talk?
I wonder what the max speed on that thing is.
Oh my god. That thing was small.
Damn, man, you get into an accident in that thing, you're done. Imagine getting into an accident with that. I think there's one of those channels that like they'll set up decoys and will kind of like, you know, call people out. I saw this the other day too. I don't know why I still feel bad for Biden. You know that it's getting really bad for him. There's rumors that by this weekend he might step down. That's what some people are saying. He might, like, you know, even Obama is saying now, had supposedly told him, like, you need to step down.
When I was President Trump's White House press secretary,
I remember this lady.
the best job. I got the chance to take my 4-year-old son, Huck, to bring your kid to work day. Much like Jill now drags Joe to bring your husband to work day.
Everybody is ranking on Biden, including his own people. They want him out of there. They're ready to get rid of him. Damn, CG said he never stepped up. Oh, this was kind of savage.
Is before 8 p.m. So
he's sharpest before 8 p.m.
Say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m. Who do you call? The First Lady? And are you guys just not, since February, testing President Biden for Parkinson's or for dementia? Because if he gets a bad result, it's all over that day.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Oh, she cut it.
He's sharpest before 8 p.m.
Wow. Oh, it's all, even CNN, bro. You know, in CNN, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe not. Maybe people shouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised they've turned on him.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together.
Wow. What a time. Oh, this was a clip. I guess this is a recent clip. I've never seen this before. It was posted today.
And so it's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named. And so it's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man.
The black man.
I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named.
This was the weekend at Bernie's too. I guess this was DeSantis recently, I guess.
As a citizen, as a husband, and as a father, I am alarmed that the current president of the United States lacks the capability to discharge the duties of his office. Our enemies do not confine their designs to between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. We need a commander-in-chief who can lead 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. America cannot afford 4 more years of a weekend at Bernie's presidency.
That was a good movie. It's an old movie. It's a classic. And it's basically like, I don't remember really much of it. I just remember that there's this guy. He's pretty much dead, but they're pretending he's alive. They have to make everybody believe he's alive. So they're just like holding him up and walking him around. And it's just this crazy old funny movie. Trump versus Biden. Okay, who has the better diet? There's some food blogger named Bennett Ray 8. Bennett Ray ate like Trump and Biden for a day. So Trump's diet, and this is, I guess if you Google this, you can see this. He's known for having 12 Diet Cokes a day, McDonald's, and a well-done steak. Biden's diet, Special K, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and angel hair pasta. Trump's diet left him feeling hungover and overwhelmed by fast food. Biden's diet, best described as like a childlike, left him bored and lacking protein. This is apparently from the Daily Mail. I wonder if they have what's his name? Bennett Ray? Like a video or something. Here's him trying out the diets. Let me see. Bennett Ray, Daily Mail. Daily Mail. Nah, I don't know. Another one. They're trying them. This is apparently on the New York, I think, Health magazine. It says, catch up on our health issue featuring medical breakthroughs and scandals. We had already been thinking about how to address the fact that this health issue would drop in the middle of a presidential campaign when the presidential debate put the health and age of the candidate in the center of the national conversation. All right. So some people are outraged. What do you guys think? I don't know how they did this. I guess they maybe Photoshop, put some bodies there. What a disgusting decision to make this a cover. We cannot point the media's contribution of making the U.S. a joke to the world. It's not too late to delete this. I'd just like to note that if a Republican photoshopped a woman's head onto a body in underwear and posted it, then the comments would be different. This is such a weird thing to do to anybody. Wildly disrespectful. What on earth? Oh, yeah, would you do this to a female candidate? Would they? Lord. Oh, wait, where did I go? Oh, shit. All right, so let's get to it. Brian Enton posted here earlier today, sources within the Secret Service saying the working theory now is that the Secret Service sniper did not initially shoot Crooks because the sniper thought Crooks was a police officer on the roof. Oh! Wow. Isn't that crazy? That was one of the theories, right? Like maybe that they actually did see them, but they didn't know if that was like the local law enforcement. One source has seen the Secret Service plan, and it says it is very clear local police were supposed to cover the building. And that's that thing again we talked about in all these live streams we've been doing where Secret Service was pointing the finger at them, at local law enforcement, but then local law enforcement. And another post I saw, I can't remember her name, she had said that local law enforcement said they didn't have enough power. So it's just this finger pointing shit. There is a star on the plan indicating local police were to cover the building, which included the roof. We have learned police were inside the building, but not on the roof. Ain't that crazy? When I heard that these people were inside the building, this guy's on top of the roof, that's just mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. And Enton's a pretty credible person. And apparently, the Time magazine, they were going to use this as their cover, attack on Trump, and then apparently they changed it. And it's going to be what unites us. I don't know why. Oh, man. I don't know if this is true, but I encountered this last night in the world of Twitter that they claim that Thomas Matthew Crooks has an OnlyFans account. What's up, Kick? Has an OnlyFans account and that he spent $1,400. He was subscribed for 5 months. I don't know. That could be anybody, but do you think he was subscribed to Amber Rose? Oh, God. So, who knows? And we got to get to the whole gaming platform, too, because now they're saying that's not true. All right, let's check Dan Bongino. He says there's a text record that the threat was recognized an hour before Trump was on stage, but there was a failure to get the information to the Secret Service. He also confirmed that there was no drone surveillance that day, which somebody previously had talked about that, like, drones would have been a good strategy for monitoring the area too. Yes, Albert, we're going to get into that. I'm not fluent in stocks, but I've been hearing that the stock for Donald Trump was shorted the night before. I don't know if it was the night before. Might have been like, I don't know when. We're going to get into it. Let's check out what Dan had to say.
There is a serious dispute right now going on with the Secret Service. The Secret Service knows that there were some lapses on the side of locals. There were. Time out. The secrets, it's the Secret Service's fault it's their job to secure the president's life. I get that, period. They do have local partners, however. There were some significant lapses. Here's what I'm hearing. There is an actual text record, so it's not disputable. There's text, phone text, you know what I mean, right? That this threat may have been recognized at about 5:01 p.m., an hour before Donald Trump got on stage. And there are some people telling me that there was a failure in the beginning to properly get that information out. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, and let me give you the other side. The locals and some of the Butler County officials are disputing that, saying, hey, we told the Secret Service about the threat and they didn't do anything. That is going to come out in the wash once we get these records FOIA'd and out in the public. You're going to see via the text record who was notified when and what was done about it. I'm hearing from Secret Service sources that it was roughly a half an hour, in other words, 5:31, before they got a picture of this potential threat. Folks, again, this is coming from the top. Now, the Secret Service has a political problem right now. The political problem is serious. The Secret Service needs local partners to do protection. Follow me, because this is really important. They cannot do their job without local police departments. NYPD, LAPD, Philly PD, Butler County. It's not possible. The Secret Service has, 6,000 agents now, or when I was there, it was like 3,000 or so. It is not physically possible to do presidential protection without law enforcement. They are not only partners, they are integral partners. You get what I'm saying? They're in a real political quandary right now, and I don't feel bad for anyone. This isn't like boo-hoo. They screwed up, period. They don't want to throw the locals under the bus after they appeared to throw the locals under the bus. So they're in this bind right now. Now, my advice to them, if you're listening right now, is, ladies and gentlemen, the truth doesn't have an agenda. The truth is the truth. Just tell the truth. I get it. Local partners in the future are probably going to be pissed off, and we're going to have to mitigate a lot of that and do liaison work, but you got to fix this thing. So I'm hearing again that there was some communications failure, but there is, again, media people, you're writing this down, there is a text record documenting this, that there was some failure to notify about the threats. Second, I have it confirmed from a source that there was no or very limited drone surveillance that day. There was no effective aerial surveillance plan, basically whatsoever. Aerial surveillance would have detected this threat on the roof. I've told you over and over again, I'm going to get to this in a second, with a Secret Service memo that was sent to me that's going to prove to you that there couldn't have been an air security personnel there, because they changed the plan after we highlighted it. There was no drone. So we can now confirm that, which is
amazing. This is another bit of information that's come out. I've seen this going around today too, that the Secret Service apparently claimed that this was like one of the most difficult shots they had to take. They said that they had a 9-inch window to take the shot because there was a tree in the way. I had seen a picture of it somewhere, and I know I have a post. We'll take it out. Check it out. It says the counter snipers team that took out the shooter was a Secret Service team. The shot was one of the most difficult shots that any CS team member had taken in a long time. They had obviously seconds to respond.
8 degrees. Another piece of information I got this morning. The slope story is total bullshit. The dispute again happened earlier in the week about posting. But the slope of the roof, which was slight, I believe it was about 7 or 8 degrees, did in fact impede the line of sight from a couple of the sniper teams. I could not get a good look at this guy. Again, I don't make excuses for folks, okay? I'm directly calling for Kim Cheadle to resign and others, by the way. But apparently, the slope of the roof impeded the line of sight, which led to this 11-second or so delay from when the shooter took his shot and the CS team took the shot and took out the shooter. I also got some details. This is insane when I think about this. Apparently, the CS team, a lot of misinformation out there, the counter sniper team that took out the shooter was a Secret Service team. The shot, ladies and gentlemen, what I was told this morning, was one of the most difficult shots that any CS team has taken in a long time. They had obviously seconds to respond. They shouldn't have had to take this shot. I mean, that was a failure in advance. However, the shot, from what I heard, there was about a 9-inch window they had to shoot in from about 400 yards, and there was a tree in the way. And they still got the shot off. So that part, it's interesting. I don't think the details of that have been disclosed.
Damn it, I was muted. There might be a chase, so we'll keep an eye on it. I do have a notification on the second page. Leftist investment company Austin Private Wealth admits to filing a report with the SEC on their shorting of 12 million Donald Trump company stocks, of his stocks, 12 days before the assassination attempt. I've seen this in a lot of different areas online. I can't find it now. This is the last thing I saw. But within hours of the attack on Saturday, I called the Trump organization to investigate any suspicious puts placed or bets maybe against the Trump, puts, empire in the weeks and days leading up to the attempted coup. It is now 100% clear that the Secret Service deliberately stood down. The globalists know their time is coming to an end, and they will try to kill Trump again. So it's Austin Private Wealth.
Is a wealth fund based in Austin, Texas. It's been around since 2017. And its open mission is to make profits and then donate the majority of the profits to ESG-related BlackRock leftist organizations like the ADL, Black Lives Matter, you name it. And they don't just give directly to those groups, they then also give to larger leftist foundations that distribute the money. Now, I said on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, I said people need to look at insider trading against Trump's companies and put options like we saw on 9/11. And if it was an inside job, which is now overwhelmingly clear, it will lead back to incredibly irregular shorts against Trump companies like True Social. This was absolutely massive. 12 million contracts put in to short the stock, believing that it would be going massively down. Now, within about 12 hours of this news breaking yesterday, the head of the company came out and said it's just a clerical error in the SEC filings with Bloomberg. It's our mistake, and he actually said, move along. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, when they go, are these the droids? He said, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along, move along. Wow. Even if it's the regular trade they make is true, it's still massive and huge. But we are talking about amounts of money here that are just staggering. Now, we're posting an article on Infowars.com that has their press release, the statements, screenshots, the filings, all of this. But they're not denying that they filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission one of the biggest shorts ever. I believe that this looks like a naked short. And by that, they went on paper and made the bet, but they don't have the money to cover it. And so now, because his stock didn't go down like they wanted to, now, oh my gosh, we just filed with the federal government wrong. And that's how most of these shorts are done. In fact, that's the majority of them. That's one way they've kept silver down for decades, but now it's failing, is by going into the market and manipulating the price of silver down, and then people basically believe it, and then when it goes down, they're able to cover their losses. I'm going to get some stock experts on to explain all this, but any layperson can understand this. It's done a lot. Maybe one chance out of 100 that this is all just a wild, crazy mistake. But again, they're the ones that filed this with the government. Now you add to that, now we have the video of the shooter wandering around for 20, 30 minutes beneath the building looking up at it. And we have him with a rangefinder being questioned. He looks like a total whack job. And then he goes into the building that's the police command center and somehow gets on the roof and then is there for 26 minutes. And then the head of the Secret Service says, well, that roof was too sloped when it's barely even sloped. You know, the White House is like that. And then they put the counter sniper team on a roof with a higher slope. It's just total insane crap, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody knows it's a lie. And so the advance team and the people in charge were told to stand down. They wanted a public execution of Trump to enrage the right wing in America, that the globalists would stage false flags, I predicted this months ago, and bring in civil unrest, call it civil war, and declare a national emergency. The old-fashioned name is martial law. That has been the plan the whole time. But everybody needs to stay focused on not just this company and these very mysterious things that were happening, but on other companies and other groups. And boy, when Trump gets in on January 21st, 2025, you know that Austin company is getting a visit. When you go read where they donate the money, I mean, it is a who's who of George Soros' New World Order. And one of the biggest is the ADL. And the ADL is out there all over the place, taking control of the police departments, running intelligence operations against private citizens, you name it. So this is very, 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 very sinister and very, very, very suspicious. But hey, they could be innocent, or somebody could just give them info and they didn't know what they were doing. So let's not be mean to them. Let's not threaten them. This just may be completely normal. Like they said, move along. Nothing to see here. Move along. And we hope that's the case. But just like on 9/11, I don't think it's the case, ladies and gentlemen. This was a stand down. We know that. And I know this. Trump is 10 times bigger than he ever was. He's bigger than Elvis and John Wayne mixed together with John Lennon. He is in extreme danger, and I'm kind of seeing a carnival atmosphere at the RNC, and people need to understand this is maximum danger zone right now. Okay, we need to be praying for President Trump. President Trump last night said, I thank God, this has changed my life. You know, God is real. We'll play that video coming up. He needs to go further and call directly on God to intercede and save the Republic, to lead God and direct him. That's what George Washington did. That's what all great leaders have done in our republic. And only God can give us the discernment we need to defeat this. Trump was defended by God. At the last millisecond, he turned his head and didn't get killed. So this is serious, serious time. I'm going to do another report on Biden. I told you, I predicted by about the 21st or so, he would step down a few weeks ago. And yesterday, I'm sick, he tweets. And then he comes out and he goes, oh, I've got...
All right, I was really distracted. Something was going on the second channel. So I was looking. So I had these videos getting blocked by KCAL/CBS. I think it's the same company. And they just went and blocked 8 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. I thought it was 8. 7 videos. Crazy. So I don't know if I should reach out to them or what. That's weird. I never seen them do that. The most they ever do really is like take monetization. They take the ad money, and that's fine, I guess. You know, it's not a strike or anything, but it's just weird. And it was all back to back to back to back to back. And so I reached out to this other Chase channel, and they told me that didn't happen to them. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a targeted attack. I don't know if the Chase guys don't like me doing the chases. It's just one network. I might not be able to really use them in the future. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, we keep on moving. We'll figure it out. Oh, so apparently, Thomas Matthew Crooks had a former guidance counselor. And this counselor says he was not a menace to society. In fact, he was a nice guy. So, or something like that. Let's see.
My name is
they
Kevin
blocked
Little. I live
8
in
of
Bethel
them, or
Park,
7 and 7.
Pennsylvania, suburb of a little bit south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And right now I just drive rideshare for a living. Well, we were immediately told that we had to evacuate our house by the state police, which was, I mean, obviously necessary, but it really was inconvenient. But other than that, we didn't get to see a whole lot of the chaos that was happening here during that time because we weren't here. So we kind of came back to all this madness yesterday, or 2 days ago, I'm sorry, late Sunday night. I have never had a conversation with any of them. I haven't really seen anything other than normal neighborhood activity from them. I don't know if they've ever had any conversations now.
Let me tell you something. Reportedly, this kid's parents are counselors. Only this counselor, therapy, whatever fucking people that didn't catch nothing, didn't know shit. All right?
They seem pretty quiet. They seem like nice people, though, honestly. They really do. They wave, neighborly. So, yeah, he walked around the neighborhood a little bit that I saw. So, but that's about, honestly, just walking around normal, which is very normal for this neighborhood. There's always people out walking. He seemed like a really pretty nice kid, honestly. But no, I never. And he was friendly enough, smile, wave, But no, I never had any conversations with him. Lived here since 2018. It's a really nice neighborhood. It's quiet. It's great for raising kids, especially being on the corner here. This yard kind of ends up as a collection plate for all the neighborhood children. But my kids love it. My dog loves it. And there's always people outside doing stuff too, which kind of makes you feel comfortable in your neighborhood. But yeah, I like it here a lot. So my husband used to push me into voting a lot when he was alive, and my sister kind of makes sure I follow through with it. I'm not a huge fan of our politics at all, or our government, not even a little bit. So I really don't care for any of it. But yeah. No.
Okay, so that was a counselor. What is this?
What is Black Rock?
Oh,
yeah,
Black Rock.
Zach Shear, and I'm from Shakora, which is a little northeast of Butler, where the rally was being held. So I was actually to the president's left shoulder, 3 rows from Donald Trump's left shoulder. And everything was actually great. The mood seemed the same. I've been to over 20 Trump rallies across the country. And this was kind of the first one I noticed there was a lack of security. That kind of concerned me on Saturday there. But following up to the rally, everything was normal. I think we got 6 or 7 minutes into President Trump's speech, and you just heard what sounded like a firecracker. The first one, it was like, what was that? And the second one, then we watched Trump, go for his right ear, and he dropped. And I was like, oh my God, those are gunshots. And I instantly went to the ground, and my father, who was with me as well at the rally, just stood there in shock. And I'm like, Dad, you got to get down. Dad, get down. And I eventually grabbed him and pulled him straight to the floor. And shots just kept ringing and ringing. And I couldn't figure out where they were coming from, as well as everybody else in the crowd. We couldn't figure out if it was coming from within the crowd, at eye level, or whether it was above us. And, if we were getting shot next. We just stayed undercover under the seats until Secret Service was finally like, you guys got to get out. Everybody needs to evacuate immediately. And it was just a landfall of people, tumbling over each other, trying to get out of that, situation, because, nobody knew if there was other shooters, or what the exact situation was, because there was no cell phone service. So actually Friday night, I'll take you back a day.
This is the most least secure place ever. Let me see what's going on with you guys in the chat. Let me refocus myself. I just saw that happen on the second channel. It's so weird. I never had any. That's never happened before. Like back to back 8 videos. So, and I heard some interesting stuff too behind the scenes that I don't know. Probably shouldn't say, but so we'll have to see how we move in the future. I mean, that's just Cake House CBS. What I can try the next time is we can stream it and then maybe turn off ads or something and see if they don't fuck with it. I don't know. Just for that, Chase, I don't know. BlackRock are the ones buying up all the properties and raising the house prices. Yeah, I want to find out. I have no idea what it is. What is BlackRock? BlackRock Investment Management Finance Services is a multinational investment management company that provides financial technology and solutions for investing, advising, and risk management. Founded in 1988, BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion in assets under management as of December 31st, 2023. The company has 78 offices in 38 countries and clients in 100 countries. And it's headquartered in Hudson Yards, Midtown Manhattan, New York City. Wow. We just want to help you. Somebody asked the question, is BlackRock owned by China? In August 2021, BlackRock set up its first mutual fund in China after raising over $1 billion from 111,000 Chinese investors. BlackRock became the first foreign-owned company allowed by the Chinese government to operate its wholly owned business in China's mutual fund industry. Okay.
We were actually, there was a group of us that had volunteered on the Trump campaign to do rally setup, which included, setting up the barricades, the stage setup, and other things that were needed to make sure this was a successful event. We did a walkthrough at 7 p.m. on Friday night, and we raised multiple concerns with the state GOP staff about parking, about security issues we saw, where there were lack of barricades at, and all of our safety concerns that we brought up on Friday evening were strictly turned down, and there was no answers given to any of our questions or concerns about security in that matter. So that's kind of where I stand on the security part of it is, being these 20 other rallies, volunteering and helping with setup days prior to the rally. Most of those concerns were always addressed. We always saw the change in place the day of the rally. And this was the first one that I saw no changes made from Friday night to Saturday morning when we got there at 7:30. What happens is most of the time, about 36 hours prior to the event, the Trump campaign sends in an advance team, which consists of, Secret Service officers and as well as paid staff members that work for Trump directly. But also they send in state GOP staff, which, they're not employed by Trump, but they work for the Pennsylvania, Republican Party. And those people are usually sent in to help the advance team for rally setup or any event setup. So that's usually the volunteer point of contact. And that's usually who sets up the stage, the parking area. All volunteer points of contact would go through the state GOP team. I think I just noticed they did not listen to me. I think, there's multiple things that could have been done differently, but at the state level, I just believe there was a lot of disorganization. And, throughout the entire week, actually, following up to Saturday, there was multiple concerns about this venue, that it's not big enough, that there was too many, points of entry to this venue. There was too many open rooftops. And, this was all pointed out to the volunteer team, but I'm not sure if it was, their lack of concern or, whether that information was ever relayed to, Secret Service or the state police. Just the fact that on Friday when we arrived, to the volunteer setup, we could drive right into the rally grounds. I drove straight up to the stage, to help us set up. Anybody could have been in those grounds throughout the entire week planning, other sorts of, I guess chaos per se, planning attacks, as Mr. Crooks did. He could have been there throughout the week, scoping out locations, getting a general idea where the stage was. And I just feel that there should have been higher security throughout the week as well on access to those farm show grounds. So the rally before was actually held at the Butler Airport, which is, south of where this rally was held. The reason it wasn't there this time was because of an event that was already being held there prior to, Trump's announcement he was coming to Butler. But the difference at the Butler Airport was there was a lot more room for people. There was a lot more, security. There's fencing, and there's no other access points for a shooter. You know, as far as rooftops, there's 2 rooftops at the airport where he was at in 2020, and both of those rooftops were actually secured by Secret Service snipers. And the farm show, the difference there is the venue's twice as big, and there's many access points that, you know, I don't think it was the right venue. I really don't. So if the viewers from home were watching TV, you know, watching Trump's speech, I would have been to the right of Trump, and Corey would have been to the left. The only common, you know, things we have in common here, we're both volunteer firefighters, and that's one of the things that hits close to home is, you know, we all went to this rally thinking that it's going to be a, you know, fun, you know, energetic time, and unfortunately, you know, Corey lost his life, and all of his brothers and sisters in the fire service, you know, they're going to come together tomorrow.
All right. I was tagged in this tweet about Destiny again. This is the guy. We've talked about him a couple times and did the stream. He's still... See what he's doing here?
For the fucking... the great cleansing, dude.
Cleansing?
The cleansing.
What cleansing?
When we genocide conservatives in this country.
Still talking about killing and death and advocating for death and wiping out whoever if you have a certain political belief.
Are you going to be out in the streets with your Glock?
Maybe. I gotta go back to Nebraska and grab it. I'm ready for the fucking...
Another day with Destiny. Secret Service spotted Thomas 20 minutes before the shooting. We've heard so many accounts. Others saying an hour. I don't know. It's getting ridiculous. They're also saying that he hid his rifle in advance of the Trump rally. Sniper attack, Secret Service source says.
Fox News alert. GOP senators confronting Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle at the RNC. They've been demanding answers.
Why is she at the RNC? I guess to oversee things or what?
After the assassination attempt on Saturday on former President Donald Trump.
She won't talk to the people. She won't talk to them. Chad Pergram joins us now with details. Chad, what happened?
Brian, good morning. This confrontation at the convention emphasizes how incensed lawmakers are at Cheadle after the epic security breakdown. Republicans John Barrasso and Marsha Blackburn hectored Cheadle when they found her at the GOP convention. Cheadle did not appear on 2 conference calls about the shooting yesterday. FBI Director Christopher Wray led the calls with House and Senate members. One member said they cut off the call after only 4 questions.
Yeah.
Completely unsatisfied. It was a complete cover briefing by the Secret Service. The director of the Secret Service needs to lose her job. This was appalling.
Yeah, Caleb,
they shut it after just a couple of questions and didn't get to any of the meat of the matter.
Now, Cheadle agreed to appear before the House Oversight Committee on Monday. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer issued a subpoena to compel Cheadle to testify. Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mark Green wants Cheadle to testify before his panel on Tuesday.
Secret Service needs to get its act together. Whoever made the decision not to cover that building, you know, that's probably the biggest flaw in this thing. And at least Director Cheadle was brave enough to say that this particular call we just had. That can't happen again, not ever again.
Now, Green says local Pennsylvania officials will also testify before his committee Tuesday. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell are demanding that Cheadle resign.
So they're going to hold it to the fire, but I'm sure she's just going to be like, well, I can't talk about that because whatever, you know, policy, procedure, security reasons, whatever. Now, there's this thing, everybody going crazy about the water tower. Watergate. They're saying there's a second person in the tower. Somebody else shot a second shooter. People going crazy. The internet's going crazy. Video shows a dark figure on top of Butler Water Tower, which many say is a second shooter.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
Actually, it looks like there's smoke up there, but I don't believe that's a shooter. Let me see. Actually, it does like that. Nah, who's gonna be up in that tower, man? That's just the blurriness. That's the blurriness. That's a degraded quality.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Now this guy under it posted, a post that I actually liked. He said my 2 cents, and so he takes these pictures, and he kind of just, the tower has a logo, star logo, shadow. This kind of shit happens all the time in these pictures where it's so degraded and there's blurriness. Somebody's there. I don't think there was anybody up in that water tower, man. That would have been a great tactical position, though. I mean, you're looking over everything. Yes, Snark, yes. I saw this. I thought I commented on this thing. I appreciate what he did. Because this thing is going everywhere. It's all over there. There's a second shooter at the tower. Somebody up there. Blah. What's the other dark spot then of the Red Star logo, huh? It's the top of the tree. Oh. Why the dark spot's moving? Light refraction. Then heat occurs when light changes speed and direction as it passes through the air of different densities. Okay. I don't think there's somebody else up there. I think the one guy that was the shooter, he's dead. Caught one in the face. I don't know what this. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is what I wanted to show you too about the whole tree thing that was being talked about. Let's see if I can maximize. Serious video. So the gunman was right here. And he had a clear view of Trump and Trump is right here. Trump's on stage, reported to have killed gunmen. So there's somebody else on the distance, another sniper. And then you have these right here. But these people were claiming, I don't know, that the view was blocked by a tree. Let's see this video. Hopefully that's not copyright. They catch me like that sometimes. See the little things playing in the background. So the other thing too, this was circulating around, and I guess now they're saying it's not true. So Trump's would-be assassin Thomas wrote a chilling online post foreshadowing the rally shooting. And so they were saying that he made a post, July 13 will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds. He allegedly wrote it on Steam, a popular online platform where gamers communicate. Steam is just this app. I know it's on PC. I don't know if it's other stuff as well. I don't think it's on console, but it's on computer, and it's an app. And through that app, you purchase games or whatever, and you download game, you play games or whatever, and you can have friends on there, and you can chat with them. And so they were saying initially that he had left this message. I mean, I've never chatted on Steam. I don't know why anybody would, but Steam. Investigators are searching his computer, his cell phone, blah, 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 everything. Now they're saying this ominous message apparently is not true. During a congressional hearing briefing on Wednesday, lawmakers were told that Thomas Crooks was on the platform and hinted that he'd be in the news on Saturday. GOP senators left that briefing deeply unsatisfied with the minority leader Mitch McConnell calling for new leadership at the Secret Service. After the meeting, Secret Service ended. Where's the thing where they said it's not? Okay, here it is. A Steam user profile seen by NBC News used the name Thomas M. Crooks, but it appears that profile's handle was changed from a previous username on Sunday afternoon, so somebody changed their name to that. The day after the shooting, according to an archive of the profile collected by Steam ID, a website not affiliated with Steam or Valve that tracks Steam users' pages. So that person changed their name. The profile also featured a widely circulated picture of Crooks as an avatar and has the language that was reported that appeared to foreshadow the attack. The profile, which has been active since May 2023, previously went by the username Blubber and Bubbles, according to Steam ID. It was not clear when the language about the attack was added. Blubber and Bubbles. So now they're saying investigators now believe a Count on Gaming site in would-be's assassin name is fake. Oh my gosh. They believe that Count did indeed belong to Crooks. Let's see. They believed with the briefing, but now the Bureau has revised that assessment, the U.S. official said. Okay. They're trying to find his digital track. We're going to talk about this to the major depression. He conducted online searches. Trump gunman search history shines light on shooting. So this article is pretty interesting. Thomas Matthews Crooks, the gunman who injured Donald Trump and killed another, searched for both Trump and Biden. That's kind of interesting. What the? They're saying he searched for Trump and Biden, as well as an Attorney General Merrick Garland and FBI Director Christopher Wray in the days before the shooting. He had also searched the phrase major depressive disorder, FBI officials revealed in a briefing. The details about his action before he opened fire at the Pennsylvania rally over the weekend emerged by a chilling message he posted on a gaming, which that we already talked about. Apparently it's not real. So he looked for public appearances scheduled for Trump and Biden. So he would have tried to take a shot at Biden, I guess, according to the New York Times, ultimately landing Trump's Pennsylvania speech, which was held roughly 50 miles from his home. After zeroing in on the event, he reportedly searched more detail on the rally. In the days following the assassination, Crooks' motives have remained a mystery to both law enforcement and the public, who have clamored for any details revealing why the 20-year-old would risk his life to kill Trump. Also, they found a remote detonator next to his body. And yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know what this means. Was he just willing to kill anybody? Any political leader? Did he not care? Live SWAT. Oh, shit. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Active investigation. All right, we'll take a look. I'll have to take a look. Gunman's phone had details about Trump and Biden. So I don't know. I don't understand what this is. Does he just hate politics? Does he just hate, both parties? Gunman who tried to kill former President Trump used his cell phone and other devices to search for images of Trump and Biden, along with an array of public figures. Antifa. Oh, maybe that's some Antifa type of thing, huh? I don't know. I did see some people say they hate both. F Biden, F Trump. The disclosures made during the private briefings to lawmakers by the FBI offered the most complete portrait so far of the would-be assassin with no criminal history or even clearly discernible political beliefs, who came close to killing Mr. Trump. Still no clear motive for the attack. Okay. Several former classmates have said they have never heard the gunman express any particular political ideology, but Vincent Tormina, a former classmate who attended middle school and high school with the gunman, said in an interview that Mr. Crooks showed a general disdain for politicians in both parties. Damn. What do they call it? Is that apolitical? Just want to take down the whole system. We got to destroy the system. We got to stop it. Just reform it. Chaos. Isn't that like those people? Yeah, like we were saying, Antifa. They just want to destroy everything, right? They believe in chaos, and they think you got to burn everything down in order to start new, right? Nothing good about those people. My mother was an Antifa. How dare you, man? All right, what else? He recalled one instance when the two were in 7th grade during a classroom political debate. Mr. Taormina voiced his support for Trump. Mr. Crooks seemed incredulous. He says, "Aren't you Hispanic? And you like Trump?" Mr. Taormina said, "That's a little stupid." Or he said, "That's a little stupid." Mr. Taormina brushed off the encounter and had a few other interactions with Mr. Crooks, but he disputed other classmates' accounts that the gunman had been bullied and been a loner, saying that he was intelligent and had his own small group of friends. "I did not know him personally or as a friend, but he was not bullied. He was not a recluse." So that's a different account of things. Oh, anarchist. Yeah. Those other people said he was bullied, but when I saw the bullying video, he was just sitting there in class laughing, and some girl was touching his leg. All right. So Mr. Crooks' possessions, they're scouring it, searching through it, including 2 phones and at least 1 laptop for clues about a motive. So far, they have found no indication that Mr. Crooks, who was a registered Republican, had strong partisan political views one way or another. Nor have they uncovered any evidence of co-conspirators or connections to foreign actors. 2 top borough officials said during the tense calls. Okay. All right. And this has already been debunked. The Steam thing, upon further examination, now seems to have been fake. Damn, they got trolled. The FBI, the investigators, somebody named Bubbles and what's the other one? Bubbles and Blubber trolled the FBI. Hey. Okay. All right. A more substantial development concerned the shooter's state of mind. The officials told lawmakers that there was some indication that the gunman, who led a quiet life and worked at a nursing home near his house, might have been struggling with depression. Officials singled out some of the searches on his cell phones, saying that he looked up major depressive disorder. According to a person on the calls, and another briefed of its contents. Major depressive disorder. You have the DF-75. Also known as clinical depression, is a mental illness that's caused a depressed mood that lasts for at least 2 weeks. Other symptoms: low self-esteem, loss of interest or pleasure in activities, feelings of guilt or worthlessness, lack of energy, poor concentration, appetite changes, sleep disturbances, and unaliving thoughts. All right. Oh, this is the new angle that TMZ posted earlier. The shooting. A lot of people kept trying to say this guy was getting blamed too. They were blaming this guy and saying he was involved in the shooting.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Oh.
That chart.
I'm kind of wondering what happened here. This is the first time I see this angle. So people on Twitter were saying, "Oh, he shot a gun. He's the second shooter." First, they said it was the water tower guy. Now they say it's this guy standing in the crowd that he shot because there's some smoke here. But now you can see. I almost wonder if like the bullet had hit something here. It hit something.
Take a look at what happened. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
That's crazy. What's that? Folks, the DSM-5. Yeah, I haven't opened that shit. I think it's in the closet now. I need to put it back out. I don't know. I guess maybe the bullet hit something, ricocheted off of something.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to...
Oh. I don't want to believe this, but this is circulating online. It's on Twitter. Like, these accounts are posting it, and they're getting like hundreds of thousands or whatever. I figure we'll just mention it and talk about it, but they're saying that the shooter was trans. And people were trying to compare and put side pictures and stuff. I don't think it's a match. I mean, I understand he had long hair, but no. Some people are saying not the same person. I don't know. I feel like this happens every time. It appears that the source could be a Telegram account. Is there more evidence? Jawline looks different. The nose is completely different. The first one is in Crooks. Just craziness. I don't know who this person actually is, but they're viral on Twitter right now. Jeez. Lord. And this was Jennifer Coffindaffer, where she was talking about... Oh, let me get myself stuck here. I have always said the advanced team was responsible for identifying the building where Thomas Matthew Crooks took aim as an important threat position. Apparently, Secret Service did and asked for the locals to secure it, but the locals said they didn't have enough manpower. What a dropped ball. Yeah, I don't know that you can rely on these people. The local law enforcement. Okay, Joe Reid. I haven't watched this yet. Joe Reid has some opinions.
Here's the question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
It should.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
What?
Here's the question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is
Biden say he feels good.
An elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
He's comparing it to getting shot at?
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
Oh, my gosh. Another clip. She mad over here. She mad again. She don't believe that it was a bullet that hit Trump or whatever.
We still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet
whether he was hit by glass fragments, whether he was hit by shrapnel. We don't have those details. We actually have no details from his physician, even
as if his physician is going to consult with you guys, the media and shit, as if they owe you some shit. Oh yeah, here's the medical records.
even though this man is still a Secret Service protected, and presidential candidate. We knew almost nothing. Why? Why don't we know that much? We know that 3 people were shot. 1 person, unfortunately, was killed at the rally. We don't know where they were sitting or standing relative to him.
So those 3 people were shot, but not Trump shot it.
We don't know why, for 9 full seconds, Donald Trump was allowed to stand back up during an active shooter situation, even though they, at that point, had said the shooter was down.
There you go. You answered your own question.
How would they have known if there were more shooters or not? Nobody knew. That there could have been 5 shooters for all they knew. Yet they allowed him to stand up in the middle of that,
thank you,
crisis and pose for a photo and fist pump the air so he could get the iconic photo. And then they allowed him to stand up again outside of the SUV instead of just shoving him into the SUV. That seems really unusual. What is the actual injury to Donald Trump's ear that's under that bandage? Shouldn't we know that by now? It's weird. And there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of curiosity about it, in the sort of media world, my profession. It's weird, right? Where are the FOIAs? Why isn't the New York Times aggressively pursuing his medical record?
Can you do that? Can you FOIA medical records? What's she talking about?
It's just weird.
No, it's weird that you're fucking. You think you have some type of right? If he decides to release it, he releases it. I don't think Biden's released this shit, right? People are so entitled. FOIA. Crazy?
Just a strange thing that I've noticed. And
You're the strange one.
Noticed it too, but it's weird.
You're like an alien and shit. You're the strange one. So rumors are that Biden apparently is going to drop out by the weekend. There's multiple reports saying that drop out. Even like I said earlier, Obama has told him he should step out of it. So who's going to replace him? If he does. If he steps down, who's going to replace him? I don't know. But if it's Kamala, they have no chance in hell. They have to find somebody else. The Democratic Party, a part that loves democracy so much that they force out the democratically nominated candidate. Imagine if people could FOIA medical records. Like, you know what? I want to look into this. They just put a FOIA on your ass. Where's the proof he has COVID, right? Biden. Oh, Biden. This was a nice video. This is nice. I'll get back to that. Oh, this guy was so nasty. Check this out. He's nasty.
He's an asshole. He should be locked up. Welcome to the ghetto.
Oh, that was music.
Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. I hope your daughter get raped.
Oh my God. Who says that?
He's an asshole. I hope your daughter get raped.
Editor tells media to bury iconic Trump photo.
On U.S. elections and on American politics overall. This week, the photo of former President Trump standing tall, moments after an assassination attempt, fist raised in the air, blood streaming down his face, is arguably one of those images. It was chosen to appear on the cover of Time because of its, quote, historical significance. But a new report reveals that some in the media want to bury the iconic photo that shows Trump standing strong. Axios reporting, quote, a photo editor and photographer from a major news outlet said the amount that publications have been using the photo is kind of free PR for Trump in a way, And it's dangerous, they said, for media organizations to keep sharing that photo despite how good it is.
Despite how good the photo is. Wow.
Another photographer who is freelanced for major publications worried that the photo would become, quote, a propaganda machine, with the image itself making Trump a martyr. Kaylee, I want to talk to you about the good that can be done with photographs and why it is so shocking that those in the media would even purport to stamp down the iconic imagery and the positive effect that it can have. An incredible artist named J.O. Jerusalem here in New York City has raised so much money right now that he's donating to the family of Corey Comparatori and to the Trump campaign. Street Speed 717 saying they donated thousands to the family of the person who was destroyed by that shooter there. It has nothing to do with politics, Kaylee, but so much to do with...
I guess I want to scrub the picture. Oh, this is crazy. All right, hold on. Let's wait till we get to the end of this. These are two unrelated stuff. The Karen Reid update's pretty wild. This was I don't even understand this story. Crazy. But let's watch a tiny bit of this. Kind of wrapped up earlier than I expected. But this just dropped.
To make them understand it was real was pretty much impossible.
Put that as a possibility that it was staged. I have a lot of questions just like you do. They changed the dates. No problem. The assassination attempt is when? When is the RNC? What did they want to do? Did they want there to be shambles before the RNC? Did they want right now at the RNC where the energy is high, the confidence is high? Was this intentional? Oh, it's Iran. Iran was really behind this and trying to get everybody to look this way instead of why don't you investigate what the Secret Service got wrong? I think they're going to do whatever they can the next 112 days or whatever days are left to make sure he doesn't get in there.
The language on both sides has to be dialed down.
We're living in an unsafe world, and I'm not going to apologize to somebody sitting across the pond about our Second Amendment. And
other people took it as a veiled threat. The clear implication is, don't muck around with me, I'll shoot you.
All right, so that's a play. There's another clip of the guy.
He's an asshole. He should be locked up. Welcome to the ghetto. Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. I hope your daughter get raped. And they philosophy is if a 10-year-old get raped, she can't have no abortion. That's what they, saying, pushing. Do you believe that? I believe if she get raped, she should have an abortion. But they don't believe that. And that's real scary. That's scary. How you gonna tell a woman what, you can't tell a woman what to do with her body. You just can't do that. And that's...
I don't know if that's what they all believe. Rape pregnancy is like a small percentage of abortions. Really small percentage, but I guess you got to grasp onto the most extreme thing. That still doesn't justify saying, I hope your daughter gets raped. I mean, cool, you got the full clip. Still doesn't mean you should be telling that to people.
Former President Donald Trump came within an inch of his life last weekend. What kind of a country would America now be if he hadn't looked the other way? His running mate, J.D. Vance, is an America First absolutist who backs Israel but wants no more aid to Ukraine. What's the strategic play behind his appointment? Trump says he'll now be a unifying force, but is he capable of doing that? Or will President Biden still be the Democratic nominee in November? My next guest is a big dog with...
Patrick.
How are you?
Great. How you doing?
Well, you know what? I feel a little bit discombobulated. I feel like there's a lot going on in the world and has been now for a sustained period of time. We had the pandemic, we had war in Ukraine, we've had war in Gaza, we've had cost of living crisis sweeping the world, and now we have the attempted assassination, a very nearly successful attempted assassination of a man who was president of the United States only several years ago.
So what do you think about this, guys? Hold on, I didn't see this post. This video is blowing up. Get your protection from the hood, Donald. They will protect you better. Oh, let's see what. Say get from the hood.
Say President Trump, my president, the United States president. You know who I'm talking to. This could even go to Trump Jr. Hey, if you're going to continue to do these debates in these states or in these little cities, and you want some proper protection,
gang up.
This is just a suggestion. This is just my opinion,
Gang up.
bro.
Gang up.
Because you have a lot of people out there that love you. A lot, right?
Squad
and
up.
It's obvious that the CIA and all these alphabet agencies don't like you.
Ooh.
They don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want to protect you. They don't want nothing. So here's my suggestion to you, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, even Trump Jr., if you get this to your father, huh?
Yeah.
Go to the hood. Go get you about 30 to 40, maybe 50 of them ghetto-ass motherfuckers. Excuse my French. I don't care if they white, black, right? And on the day before, you give them mugs a particular color to wear to protect you. I promise you, that won't ever happen again. Now listen to what I'm saying. If you decide to continue to do this, and you go out here on these little stages and do all this other stuff, you go straight to the hood, man. Go get you 40 to 50 of them cats standing around on the blocks, on the corners, and you had them protect you. Because I guarantee you, that would have never happened. Because as paranoid as the cat...
Yeah, they would have grabbed the scrawny ass, that dweeb, Dungeons and Dragons dweeb, walking around the area, like looking at all this stuff, setting up a ladder, setting up the rifle ahead of time, living his bag there, living his bike there and shit.
In the hood are, that dude would have never got up on that roof. I promise you.
Would have yoked his ass.
Don't let these people protect you because they didn't want you out there in office in the first place. So you know what? Just a little bit of advice from a little brother from the hood. If you ever come to watch this,
Yoke this scrawny ass coming over here with a rangefinder. Fuck out of here. What is that shit? Get out of here with that rangefinder shit.
you want somebody that
Then we're just gonna let you in here.
there, man, with you to protect you, give me a call, man. Hit me up on TikTok, bro. I'll be more than happy to stand up there for you. You dig? Just my opinion. God bless.
All right. Somebody got a close-up of Trump's ear getting shot. Let's see.
You see something that said, take a look what happens. Take a look what
Chécate ahí.
Oh, yeah, you can see it. Wow. Is it? This is fake. It's mirrored. It's mirrored and edited. You can see it just on this image. All right, whatever. You don't know what's real anymore on the internet.
Ago, and may well be again. It's all disconcerting, isn't it? What was your reaction when you heard about what had happened to Donald Trump?
You know, it's one of those days, like when I was sitting at Seasons 52 in Plano, Texas, when I heard that Kobe Bryant died, and nobody believed it. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, we're sitting there and I get the news. We're coming back from watching a movie, Fly Me to the Moon, in the Hamptons, and we're with our family. And then all of a sudden, Vinny says, Pat, somebody shot Trump's ear. I said, what? And then we pull up the video. Nobody believes it. And then that's when all the commentary comes out. And we did a video about it and reacting to it. But I mean, obviously, blown away for that to be taking place, but at the same time, not surprised, because we've been talking about this for the last 12 months, where I said the most important thing with the president right now is protection. The most important. You have to make sure you quality control the people that you're relying to protect you. There's almost like there's a reason why Messi has a specific person that protects him that's above and beyond whatever, Inter Miami may offer him. So you can't just rely on Secret Service to do their jobs. I think you need to go above and beyond, especially knowing that the Secret Service director is a Secret Service of the existing president who has had the DOJ go after you, who has tried to silence you. What makes you think they're going to fully give you their best people to protect you? Yeah, I would be a little bit more paranoid than the team was.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I got into this with Cenk Uygur yesterday. We got very agitated when I said I found what happened very odd. And he immediately started lambasting me as a conspiracy theorist and saying the Secret Service were in on it and all this kind of thing. I said, no, I'm not saying any of those things. Here's what I'm saying very clearly. It is incredibly strange to me and inexplicable that a 20-year-old kid with an AR-15 can clamber onto the roof in full view of the public, who start alerting authorities as much as 2 minutes before he fires this gun, and then gets to the perfect vantage point to shoot Donald Trump from 150 meters. And the fact he's able to let off 8 rounds, even with snipers all apparently looking at him at the time. Again, all of this is very odd, as is the fact that once he was taken down by the Secret Service, who did react very quickly to their credit, they then allowed him to stand back up. And they put a female agent in front of him who was clearly a lot shorter than he was, thereby exposing his whole head.
They could have got another shot in his ass.
Upper torso to potentially a shot from another shooter had there been one. Rather than doing what they did with Reagan, for example, when they rushed him straight into the limo and got rid of him and took him to hospital.
Yeah, they're saying supposedly Kid Rock playing tonight. I don't know what song though. Yeah, ball to the ball, the bag, and then diggy.
We just arrived in Milwaukee.
Fuck the boogie.
To support our tried and true red, white, and blue 100% American badass president. What's going to happen tonight? Tune in to find out. But here's a hint. Are you scared? God bless Donald Trump. God bless America.
Ball with the ball, the bag, and that.
None of this makes sense to me. It really is an inexplicable chain of events that Donald Trump, who is, one of the most threatened people in American public life, who's been president and is likely to be again, is at a public presidential rally months before an election, and any of that chain of events is able to happen.
Pierce, we were a half an inch away from civil war. We were a head not turning this way from a civil war. We've all seen the videos. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with questioning anything. One of the videos we showed is a reporter going around in California asking people, what do you think about the assassination attempt on the president? And everybody this person asked in California, everybody said, oh, it was a setup.
Well, we actually, I'll tell you what, Patrick, let me stop you, because we actually have that. Let me play that so that viewers know what you're talking about.
Sure, go for it.
Oh, it's a false flag.
False flag.
Yeah, false flag.
Somebody died and 2 people injured. What do you think about that?
False flag.
False flag.
I thought it was magnificently staged. It was professionally done.
Wait,
I still think it's fake.
By who?
Oh, by Mr. Trump, of course.
I think Mr. Trump?
No.
Oh, come on, yo.
Anti-Trump. I don't even want
to. Was it a bad thing, though? Was it a bad thing? Would you condemn it?
Oh, that he got shot at? Of course. Yeah, was it staged? Probably.
1 person died in the crowd, 2 critically injured. What happened there?
Small price. It wouldn't matter to Trump. Do you think he cares if people die for him to be elected? Put a little scratch on his ear, threw a little blood on his face.
What?
So you think that they planned from 130 yards away to shoot off the corner of his ear?
And they never shot off the corner of his ear. That was all done by the people hanging around him.
What about the people that died what about the father that died in the stand, as well as the others that were critically injured?
I don't know. I can't tell.
What would you say?
Bro, whatever, man. I don't give a shit, bro. What?
Our reasoning is for saying that, or we have no reasoning?
Just the feeling. Just the feeling.
If Trump is involved, it's a fraud.
I mean, it's staggering to me to hear that. And yet I had first-hand experience in the UK from various people that I encountered within 24 hours of what happened, immediately saying to me, because they recognized me and knew I'd been covering this, they said, this thing's staged, right? This was all set up. And I was like, what are you talking about? Of course it wasn't set up. But trying to make them understand it was real was pretty much impossible.
But here's what I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with them saying that. I'm okay with that, and put that as a possibility that it was staged. Now, the possibility of being staged may be 0.1%, but we ought to put it out there as maybe this is possibility. Fine, give your argument. But at the same time, I have a lot of questions just like you do. The story that came out with the second shooter, the story that came out with the FBI power washing all the stuff on the top of the building after the shooter was gone, and maybe they don't have any residual effects of the shots fired. Maybe there's no residual effects.
Yeah.
That's not a hard thing for us to find.
I did see a picture of suppose them closing down the area.
Fine. They found the phone. You mean to tell me you didn't find anything in the phone on what was being said? We can't expect why the Secret Service, when I go online and I Google President Joe Biden's Secret Service team and go to images, try to find one woman, one female,
Patrick, no.
that's one of his, you will not be able to find it. I went online and looked at all his team. Everybody is a white male. I thought President Biden was about DEI and, underrepresented. How come he doesn't have a single person that's transgender or lesbian, gay? How come he doesn't have somebody from that community representing him? And forget about that. Why is it that every one of his Secret Service members are white male, let alone for Trump, when they're being pushed into it? 3, 4, 5 of them were women. This is an area where DEI is being exposed in ways that we just got a story yesterday.
Look, I don't have a problem with women in the Secret Service. They just have to be as good as the men, right? And they have to be up to the job. What was pretty horrifying was the agent that you saw, who's unfortunately for her gone viral, who can't even put a gun in a holster.
That was so bad.
In that environment. And you're like, how on earth have you got into the Secret Service? This is like supposed to be the absolute elite of the elite of protection people in the world. And she can't put a gun in a holster twice as she's trying to protect a president who's just been shot.
I had a video too of her outside of the hospital. I don't know what I did with it. I'll see if I can find it. But she was kind of doing the same thing. It looked really odd. She just, I don't know, man.
But think about it from this way. Many, many years ago, when I'm running an office and I had 100 agents that are selling insurance, and one of my agents would come in and say, I have a family member that wants me, got a very complicated financial situation. Their net worth is $10 million. Can you have somebody come and sit down with them? I would choose who I would send to go meet with the family that is the biggest expert in our office that knows how to handle a situation like that, right? I choose how to match up the right agent advisor with the right appointment. The director of Secret Service has the ability to match up the best agents who are the most experienced one against the person that's attracting the biggest audience, which is President Trump. You ought to send the right people to protect. Why did you not? By the way, this is the same person that in 2022, when asked about the text exchange between the Bidens during J6, all of a sudden she's like, oh, the text exchange disappeared. We lost it. But look, we're not trying to do anything, that's negative, or we're not trying to hide anything from the public. So I have a very hard time. And every one of these questions need to be asked because it's a little bit disturbing when all these stories are coming up. By the way, specifically when? So let's actually think like the devil's advocate. Let's actually think if they were trying to do something, something negative or something that, manipulative to kind of hurt the president. So the judge comes out and says, we're going to pick what's going to happen to the president a few days before RNC, July 11th. Okay, no problem. They changed the dates. No problem. The assassination attempt is when? When is the RNC? What did they want to do? Did they want there to be shambles before the RNC? Did they want right now at the RNC where the energy is high, the confidence is high with who they have chosen as their nominee, which is Trump, and you see a unification coming up. Nikki Haley got up there. DeSantis got up there. Vivek got up there. Elon Musk just said he's going to give $45 million a month to a super PAC before now at the end of the year. Bunch of billionaires are coming out there. Conversations with a Jamie Dimon, conversations with an RFK, the video that was leaked. You know how bad this is for the DNC? If the same person, Vivek, the same folks that are saying this was staged, we ought to also ask, was this intentional to do it right before the RNC? That question should also be on the table.
I just think all questions are perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, we're going to be switching over soon. I have the video up. Let loose. Hello. Salut. Everybody say the value. Let loose. Yeah, it's just filling up the stage. I mean, not the stage, the seats. There's nobody on stage. They're getting warmed up. I think the official start time was like 6:45. So maybe at 6:45 we'll jump over. 6:45, 7 o'clock, something like that.
When we move.
Let me show you this real quick. Let me show you this.
Oh my God.
I guess this is real. It's like another video, but it has like the same lady. Let me show full screen.
Oh my God.
Look at her again. Again, she looked just as lost as the other time. What's she doing? That's her right there? She's trying to pull out her gun.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God.
Now she pulls it out.
I'm sure they haven't told us to get away from the window. I am too. Just why? Why do we always gotta be in the middle?
I don't know, man. It's just weird. This is weird, dude.
We know so little answers. There's no a motive has been established, no real information about this shooter or why a 20-year-old kid would want to kill Donald Trump. We just don't know anything about it. And very little, very oddly, very little is emerging about him or motivation or anything. What happens here? I mean, there are lots of consequences. Let's start, first of all, the Secret Service. I don't understand how the Secretary Cheatle, the one in charge of the Secret Service, has not yet been fired. The director, I'm sorry, not secretary. The director of the Secret Service, Cheatle. How has she not been fired yet?
How is she not being fired? Because Mayorkas said, we trust her, we have her back 100% with what she's doing. And she said, no, I'm still going to be doing the job. And by the way, when they asked the director of Secret Service for specifically the RNC, I don't know exactly her name, but she was one of the ones that was for Secret Service responsible for the RNC. She was asked, are you guys going to be making any adjustments in your approach at the RNC? No, we're taking the same exact approach. What do you mean you're taking the same exact approach? So let me get this straight. In any sporting event, you're a fan of Ronaldo, you're a fan of Man U, you're a fan of soccer, you're a fan of rugby, certain sports we watch. What do players say after a loss? They say we have to make certain adjustments. You mean to tell me if in sports we make adjustments, if in business we make adjustments, if a negotiation doesn't go right, we make adjustments, if in parenting we make adjustments, if in our marriage we make adjustments, in our health we make adjustments, but not when it comes down to an assassination attempt on the president. That totally makes sense, because what's the big deal, right?
I love this guy. I'm subscribed to his channel, Pat, but he makes a really good point. I mean, there was one presser, I think it was for the RNC. Initially, at one of them, they were just like, yeah, we're not doing anything different. Like, what? No. At some point, I think after on, they said, oh, yeah, we increased security, we did this, we did that, but...
It's just an assassination attempt. We don't need to make any adjustments. We know what we're doing. And then 3, 4, 5 days later, you want to deflect and confuse the American people and say, oh...
The slope.
It's Iran. Iran was
Iran, yeah, Iran
behind this and trying to get everybody to look this way instead of, why don't we investigate what the Secret Service got wrong? You know, there was something that was said the other day that I really liked, and I would love to quote who said this. The question was the following: how come the president doesn't fire anybody? Everybody bitched and moaned about the fact that Trump fired a lot of people. How come President Biden doesn't fire anyone?
I think it was Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk said it, actually.
I think Elon Musk said the fact that how come President Biden doesn't fire anybody? It's a very valid question. In corporate environment, she would be fired like this,
also,
but unfortunately,
as the head
this
of
is
the
politics.
Secret Service, you have one job: preserving the life of the president. That is your job. You're in charge of a very large team. I mean, I once interviewed, and it was an incredibly powerful interview, Clint Hill, who was a member of the Secret Service detail on the day Kennedy got shot and killed. And he was Jackie Kennedy's personal bodyguard. He's the one you see jumping on the back of the car after the first shot goes off. And then he slightly stumbles. And he was very tearful with me because every day he thinks about, had he not stumbled, could he have taken the second bullet and saved JFK's life? So it was a very powerful interview. I think there were less than 10 people on that detail in Dallas that day. That was how big the Secret Service protection squad was for the president. There's now over 300. I've been around Donald Trump when he's landed at Stansted Airport in the UK. It's unbelievable what goes on. And when he takes off, the whole backup security and so on. I've been at Mar-a-Lago when it's been swarmed with secret.
The number of illegals that have entered the U.S.
They're
is
showing a
greater
commercial.
than the population of 40 of our states.
Biden's failed Afghan withdrawal leaves 13 service members killed.
I don't know 13 service members dead. When they left like that?
Prevailing view among Americans is that U.S. influence in the world is weakening, and China's is growing.
China is growing. Woo.
Nearly 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that's a real big number. Yeah, this is all fancy and high tech and shit. Let's go. Oh shit, what's going on? Is it time? Should I dim the lights? I think I did like a bat single. Oh, Trump. It's a Trump thing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we're going to switch over, guys.
The chairman of the Republican
I'll see you guys on the other channel, all right? I mean, not the other channel, but the other stream. I'm going to switch it over, guys.